Are you tired? I mean, really, bone-deep tired. Tired of the noise. Tired of the crowds. Tired of the endless hustle for a spot on a beach that looks like a parking lot for sunburned bodies. You've seen the postcards, the glossy magazine spreads, whitewashed villages mobbed with selfie sticks, cruise ship hordes. You've been promised paradise and handed a reservation slip. You start to wonder if the real thing, the quiet, honest place you dreamed of, even exists anymore. Or was it just a myth we sold ourselves? Well, I'm here to tell you it does. It's a small, stubborn rock in the Dodecanese called Halki. This isn't the Greece of thumping bass lines and all-night parties. This is the other Greece. Morning in Halki doesn't arrive with an alarm clock. It seeps in. The first light spills over the hills, turning the Aegean from inky black to a deep, impossible blue. The air gets thick with the smell of the sea, of night-blooming jasmine, and something else. Strong, dark coffee. In the main harbor town of Nimborio, the Cafenio, the local coffee house, is already stirring. This is the island's central nervous system, the place where the day's first words are spoken over tiny cups of potent Greek coffee, thick as mud at the bottom. Here, time bends. Old men with faces like ancient maps sit at small round tables, their worry beads clicking a steady meditative rhythm. They don't rush. They talk about the weather, the price of fish, the neighbor's new boat. They read a newspaper that might be a day old. It doesn't matter. News travels slower here, carried by voice and gesture. You can sit with them, order a coffee, and just listen to the gentle murmur of Greek. You won't understand the words, but you'll understand the feeling. It's the feeling of community. You'll see the women of the island too, stopping for a quick chat on their way back from the bakery. A warm loaf of bread, wrapped in paper tucked under an arm. There's a quiet strength in them, a no-nonsense warmth. They are the keepers of recipes, of stories, of the island's heart. A nod, a smile. That's all it takes. You're not a tourist here. You're a guest, a temporary neighbor. Halki is calm. Halki is real. It doesn't really care if you come or not, which is exactly why you should. This isn't a guide to the 10 best photo spots. This is an invitation to disappear for a little while. Walk down a lane so narrow you can touch both walls. Eat a fish that was swimming just a few hours ago. Sit in a cafe and do nothing but watch the world drift by, feeling the sun on your face. We're going to meet the people who make this island breathe. We're going to taste the food that comes from their soil. We're going to taste the food that comes from their sea. We're going to find the hidden corners that don't make it into the brochures. Forget the checklist. Forget the itinerary. Come with an open mind and an empty stomach. I'm Mario, and I want to show you the side of Greece you've been missing. The one that gets under your skin and stays with you long after you've left. A place that reminds you that sometimes, the best thing to do is absolutely nothing at all. And to do it slowly. If this sounds like something you need, stick around. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's see what we can find. You can sit with them, order a coffee, and just listen to the gentle murmur of Greek. You won't understand the words, but you'll understand the feeling. It's the feeling of community. There's a quiet strength in them, a no-nonsense warmth. They are the keepers of recipes, of stories, of the island's heart. A nod, a smile, that's all it takes. You're not a tourist here, you're a guest, a temporary neighbor, and in that small gesture, you feel a sense of belonging that you can't buy at any resort. This morning, ritual is the soul of Halki. It's a lesson in slowing down. Nobody is checking their phone every 5 seconds. Nobody is in a hurry to get to the next thing. The next thing will happen when it happens. For now, there's only the coffee, the sea breeze, and the shared, quiet understanding that this moment is enough. It's a simple, profound luxury. And it's the perfect start to a day where the only plan is to not have one. As the sun climbs higher, the real work of the harbor unfolds. The fishermen return, their boats painted in bright blues, reds, small, functional, weathered by salt and sun, not industrial trawlers, men who know the sea like their backyard, small nets, long lines. They bring back what the sea decides to give them, a basket of gleaming red mullet, handsome sea bream, a spiky scorpion fish, ugly but delicious. Watch them unload on the dock. The fish are rigid, eyes bright and clear. Freshness you can't fake. Cats wait at a respectful distance. A taverna owner comes down to have a look and haggles gently with the fisherman. A price agreed with a handshake. That fish will be on your plate for lunch in a matter of hours. Lunch at a seaside taverna in Halki. Simplicity. Find a table, order a carafe of the house white wine, cold, crisp, unapologetically local. Ask what the fish of the day is. No fancy sauce, no complicated prep. The cook likely the owner's wife or mother, Michael Danskomanda, takes the fresh fish, grills it over charcoal, drizzles golden green olive oil, and adds a wedge of lemon. That's it. Clean, honest, unforgettable. It tastes of the sea, of smoke, of sunshine. Simple salad, juicy tomatoes, crisp cucumber, slab of feta, maybe some fried potatoes cut by hand. A direct connection to place. The hard work of the fisherman, the skill of the cook, the generosity of the Aegean Sea. All on one plate and thoughts. It doesn't need to shout, it just is. And it's perfect. An island is just a rock without its people, and the people of Halki are the reason this place feels different. Faces of Halki, elderly woman shelling beans on blue-doored stoop. They're proud, kind, and possess a quiet dignity you don't see much anymore. They have seen booms and busts, their children leave for bigger cities, and then sometimes return. Through it all, they have held on to their identity, their traditions, and their warmth. They are the living, breathing soul of this island. Getting to know them, even a little, is the real journey. You'll meet them everywhere. There's the baker, close on flour-dusted hands and apron, pre-dawn bakery ovens, shaping loaves. He might not speak much English, but his smile when you buy a warm loaf is a universal language. There's the woman who runs the small grocery store, packed shelves with soap, shelves of olives and jars. She knows everyone's name and probably their life story too. Walk away from the harbor, and you'll find them. An old man tending his small patch of land, his back bent from years of working the soil. He might straighten up, wipe his brow, and offer you a warm tomato from the vine. It will be warm from the sun and taste sweeter than any candy. He'll point to his olive trees, gnarled hands tracing their trunks. These are not transactions, they are moments of shared humanity. These small interactions are what make a trip to Halki so rich. The people are not here to perform for tourists, they are simply living their lives, and for a short time, you are invited to witness it. They share what they have, a story, a piece of fruit, a glass of ouzo. They ask for nothing in return, but respect. In a world that's increasingly disconnected, these simple, genuine moments of connection feel like a radical act of kindness. They are the real souvenirs you take home with you. While the sea provides Halki's most obvious bounty, the island's rocky soil offers its own stubborn, flavorful gifts. Away from the sparkling harbor, the terraced hillsides are a patchwork of olive groves, small vegetable gardens, and beehives. This isn't industrial agriculture, this is farming on a human scale, done with patience and a deep understanding of the land. The food that grows here is infused with the character of the island itself, resilient, intense, and deeply satisfying. The olive trees are ancient, their trunks twisted into sculptures by wind and time. The oil they produce is the lifeblood of the local cuisine, liquid gold, peppery, and fragrant. Nearly every family has their own trees, and the oil they use is their own. It's used generously, cooking, dressing salads, preserving vegetables, dipping bread into. To taste real, small-batch Greek olive oil is to understand what you've been missing from the stuff in the supermarket. Then, there are the herbs. Walk any path on the island and your footsteps will release the intoxicating aromas of wild oregano, thyme, and rosemary. These aren't cultivated, they just grow, tough and fragrant, under the relentless sun. Locals forage for them, drying them in bunches to use throughout the year. A pinch of this wild oregano on a tomato salad or a grilled piece of meat transforms it from simple to sublime. It's the taste of the Greek landscape itself, and you can't forget the honey. Beekeepers place their hives among the wildflowers and thyme-covered hills. The resulting honey is dark, thick, and complex, drizzled over thick Greek yogurt used in pastries, or simply eaten by the spoonful. Section 6. Secrets of the Taverna. Simple food, deep roots. The Taverna on Halki is more than just a restaurant. It's the island's living room. Families celebrate, friends gather, visitors get a true taste of local life. The best ones are usually family-run, with plastic tablecloths, mismatched chairs, a menu that might be handwritten or simply recited by the owner. Don't look for culinary fireworks or deconstructed anything. The magic here is in the ingredients, the time-honored recipes, and the love that goes into every dish. One of the secrets is in the magirefta, the slow-cooked dishes that bubble away for hours in the kitchen. These are the heart of Greek home cooking. You might find a rich lamb stew with artichokes or gigantes, giant beans baked in a savory tomato and dill sauce, or perhaps the local specialty, Halki pasta, handmade macaroni served with caramelized onions and cheese. It could be a pie made with wild greens, foraged from the hills, or macaroons, a simple pasta dish. One closely guarded secret might be a specific blend of wild herbs in a fish stew, or the perfect ratio of flour and local cheese in their tirapita, cheese pie. These recipes aren't written down in fancy cookbooks, they are passed from one generation to the next, a legacy of flavor carried in memory and practice. When you sit at a taverna in Halki, you're not just a customer, you're a guest at the family table. The owner might pull up a chair and share a glass of wine with you. The cook might come out to see if you enjoyed the meal. It's this personal touch, this genuine hospitality, that makes the food taste even better. You leave not just full, but with the warm feeling of having been cared for, of having shared in something authentic and deeply rooted in the island's culture. Section 7. Whispers of the Past, Walking Through Time. Halki is an island that wears its history on its sleeve. To walk here is to walk through layers of time. The story isn't shouted from grand monuments, it's whispered from abandoned villages, crumbling chapels, ancient footpaths worn smooth by centuries of use. This is a place where the past isn't cordoned off behind velvet ropes. It's right there, under your feet and all around you, waiting to be discovered by anyone willing to wander. High above the harbor, perched on a dramatic peak, the ruins of a medieval castle built by the Knights of St. John. The path up is steep and winding, a pilgrimage through time-scented scrub. As you climb, the modern world falls away. At the top, you stand within the castle's skeletal walls, wand whistling through empty ramparts. The view is staggering, a 360-degree panorama of the Aegean. You feel the ghosts of the knights who stood watch here, scanning the horizon for pirate ships. But the island's most poignant story is told by Corio, the old capital. Once a thriving village, hidden from pirates in the island's interior, now mostly a ghost town. Wander its silent, narrow streets, peering into roofless shells of stone houses. See where the hearth was, where a family gathered. Hauntingly beautiful, a testament to resilience and the march of time. A few houses are being restored, a flicker of life returning to the old stones. Even the smallest discoveries feel significant. A tiny, whitewashed chapel hidden in an olive grove, its door unlocked. Inside, a simple hand-painted icon, a few candles left by a visitor, or an old circular stone floor, an aloni where villagers once threshed wheat by hand with donkeys. These are not tourist attractions, quiet, sacred spaces that connect you to generations who lived, worked, prayed on this very land. Walking here is like reading a book written in stone and soil. Section 8. Finding your rhythm. How to move on Halki. If you come to Halki with a mainland mindset, you're going to be frustrated. The island operates on its own clock, and the first rule is to throw yours away. There is no rushing here. Life moves with a slow, tidal rhythm. Shops close in the afternoon for a siesta. The ferry schedule is a suggestion, not a contract. The best way to experience Halki is to surrender to its pace. Let the island teach you how to be slow again. It's a skill you've probably forgotten you had. The best way to get around is on your own 2 feet. The main town of Nimborio is a maze of charming car-free lanes. Every stroll reveals a new detail, a beautifully painted door, a pot of vibrant geraniums, a sleeping cat curled on a warm stone step. For reaching the more remote beaches, the old village of Chorio, there's a local bus that runs a few times a day. Its schedule is flexible. Just go to the stop and wait. It will come. Eventually. Packing for Halki is an exercise in simplicity. You don't need much. Good walking shoes are essential. Swimsuit, a hat, sunscreen, a few light clothes for the day, maybe something slightly warmer for the evenings, when the sea breeze picks up. Most importantly, bring a good book. There will be long, quiet afternoons perfect for reading on a shaded balcony or a secluded beach. Leave the high heels, the fancy gadgets and the stress at home. They have no place here. The best time to visit? I'd say late spring, May or June, or early autumn, September and October. The sun is warm but gentle, the sea is perfect for swimming, and the summer crowds have either not yet arrived or have already departed. You'll have the paths and beaches, mostly, to yourself. This is when the island breathes most freely. Reaching Halki involves a flight to Rhodes, then a ferry. The boat ride itself is part of the decompression process. As the big island shrinks behind you and tiny Halki grows on the horizon, you can feel the world simplifying. Section 9. A final word. The invitation. So, what's the big secret of Halki? It's that there is no secret. There's no single mind-blowing attraction. The magic isn't in a place, it's in a feeling. It's the feeling of being welcomed without being smothered. It's the profound pleasure of a simple, perfect meal. It's the quiet joy of watching the sun dip into the sea, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, with nothing to do and nowhere to be. It's the feeling of finding a place that hasn't sold its soul. This island is a gift, but it's a fragile one. If you come with respect. Be a traveler, not a tourist. Buy local. Keep the beaches clean. Ask before you take someone's picture. Learn a few words of Greek. A simple kalimera, good morning, or Efkaristo, thank you, goes a long way. Spend your money in the small, family-run tavernas and shops. Help keep this place the way it is. Real, honest, and beautifully human. I'm Mario. I hope this little story gave you a glimpse of what makes this place special. If you enjoyed this journey, do me a favor, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. And in the comments below, tell me about your secret spot, the place you go to escape. I'd love to hear about it. Halki is an invitation. It's an invitation to walk slower, to taste more deeply, to listen more carefully. It asks for little but gives back so much. It's a reminder that the most memorable journeys are not about how many miles you cover, but how many moments you truly live. So pack a light bag and a heavy heart, ready to be filled. Come with an open mind. You might just leave a small piece of your soul here and take a much larger piece of its peace with you. Safe travels.